So this is a pretty big moment for us. This particular Jeep came into my life about 11 years ago. And when I say the Jeep, I do also mean the owner, Jim and Terry. If you are a Jeep enthusiast, a car enthusiast, you just flat out like a quality come up story. This Jeep and the nature of SFJ 4x4 is kind of rooted in that. I'm excited to say that we are on our road to Mecum, where we're going to be listing this particular vehicle for sale for the appropriate buyer, right? So when you look at the Jeep, it is just meant to be a clean representation of the Cherokee XJ. But I always used to tell people, Jim bought a Cherokee, but he really wanted a Ferrari. And so that has been the nature of what we've been doing to build this particular Jeep out. I'm excited. I hope that you are too. Follow along and see where this takes us, because Mecum's going to be off the chain. It is this wild, serendipitous experience where we're going to have this particular vehicle there, which is a phenomenal representation of the craftsmanship of specifically our lead performance builder, Greg. And then we're also going to have the Found It wagon. It moved on to a secondary owner, but realistically, that ownership has decided to be done with it. They played with it, they took it to Florida, and it is headed to Mecum as well. So this one will be selling on Thursday, and then Found It will be selling the very next day. So we'll be on site showcasing this Jeep and answering questions for folks, but definitely a well worth investment for the next buyer. Many, many adventures yet to come with this Jeep. Mecum, Harrisburg, 2023. Doc Brown, Mr. Lentz. Captain Lentz at the helm. We're going to go check out some vehicles that these guys critically put together. We're pretty proud of SFJ, what we've accomplished so far, and we're going to see it in living color, which is pretty cool. Okay, Jeep family, we are at Mecum Auto Auction 2023 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it is already bananas. There's tons of people here, limited parking, really well organized. This is our first opportunity to attend one of these events. We have Dose. That's right, not one, but two of our customer Jeeps, big builds that have come out of SFJ 4x4 that are going today on the auction block. Should be a very cool experience. You can see this really neat Apocalypse 6x6. I know there's a lot of people at home who wish they had this thing in their stable, right, in their garage. We're going to be selling, well, our customers are going to be selling just a wildly modified Cherokee XJ, and then a beautiful 1979 Wagoneer, both resto mod, the Found It Jeep. So both of these Jeeps been in SFJ 4x4 family for a very long time. And this is the day that it's the opportunity for somebody else to enjoy them. I hope that you enjoy this and follow along in the process of us. First time at Mecum. This is going to be wild. There's two elite auctions in the country, Barrett-Jackson and Mecum Auto Auction. Mecum has like 7 or 8 different locations across the country. This is the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex. You can see the Apocalypse 6x6. This is just one of the very, very cool vehicles here on site this weekend. The auction goes for like 4 days. Right now they're doing toy bidding. We're not really allowed to shoot the camera over that direction, so we'll see how long we can keep filming until somebody says something to us. That will be interesting. In the meantime, we're just gonna tool around, check out some vehicles, look at cool vehicles like this. There's some off-road inspired stuff. You can see this one, they just drove right in off the lot. Somebody's gonna take this home with them. Is that a $80,000, $115,000, $150,000 Jeep? I don't know, but we're gonna find out this weekend. So what I think is gonna happen is these folks over here in the green hats are gonna be the ones responsible for shoving up this ramp, and the Jeeps, or the vehicles, are gonna go into the building and somehow across the auction block. I don't know, we're gonna have to figure out and see. The word on the street is that we're not allowed to film that, so we'll see what that actually will look like. Red ramp truck. I want to bring this one home. This is why I didn't bring a checkbook. See, this one makes sense to me. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense at all. Here, I found Scott and Greg, which should come as no surprise. No love for the M38? I just took all the pictures.
We just got documentation pictures, so we know how to put ours back together.
So, excellent example of authentic M38. So, Willie's model, super cool Jeep, right? So if you know, you're following along on YouTube, we have 1951 M38 we're doing a full resto mod on. And so this one, you can see the 24-volt battery box, the hookup, all of the peculiarities, the specialties that make this what they are. So ours is going to look very similar in the end. Customer wants the canvas top, going to want the rope bumper, the sticker. So Kent, we're thinking about you, man. We're getting some ideas of aesthetically how we want to set them up, but really, really a cool piece. That's what's cool about the show. I'm telling you, this is like if you played with Matchbox cars as a kid. Like, this is like Matchbox cars, but for adults. Like every shape, size, color, creed, make, model, it is here. I mean, where else are you gonna have something from the 50s? Obviously, Canada purchased, next to S10 Extreme. I mean, that's what's cool about these types of shows. Big Bentley. Ooh, I'd take it for a spin. I would take it for a spin. All right, so we did the quick buzz of the outdoor lot, and we haven't found the Cherokee or the wagon yet. We'll figure that out here. Uno momento. I think this is like another lot over here. I'm really not sure what the difference is between this lot and that lot. I'm sure somebody else knows. Do you know are these selling today?
These are Thursday cars.
These are Thursday cars. What's that over there?
That's most of them are bid goes on cars from yesterday.
Oh.
So they didn't sell. Bid goes on. Park them over there. If you want, you go talk to the owner and try to make another deal.
Yeah.
After the auction.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So super helpful. Just another guy who was hanging out here has said that these are the quote bid goes on. So these are the vehicles over here that did not sell on Wednesday. And so that means they went across the auction block. They did not get bid up correctly.
I wonder why.
I'm just wondering what happened. That doesn't look good. Somebody put some fresh new tires. I feel like somebody backed into that recently. Like, I feel like that happened. Oh, so this says it's sold. This is damaged goods? I don't know. I gotta take a picture of this one. I mean, we've had some customers bring us vehicles and say they're clean.
This is someone's grandma.
62,000 original miles, 93. So if you are unaware, Grand Cherokee owners, ZJs, WJ folks, you know, I've got roasted online. You get real unhappy because I don't give you the love that you feel like you deserve in your grandma wagons. So here we are. This is beautiful. This is a 93. If you're unfamiliar, this is the first year. So it is a first year. It is, I believe this was called Chili Pepper Red at this time. 62,000 original miles, no reserve. So you're telling me that this went across the block and nobody bid on it, or the owner just didn't want to sell it for the price that they bid it up to? I don't really know how that works yet. We'll figure it out, but no reserve. Like, this one should have sold. This thing is what's up. Look at these classic body molded steps. Hello, 1990s. The vehicles are starting to enter into the facility. We've actually seen a handful of them already pull in. The K5 stopped up here. It's one of my favorites, I gotta be honest with you. I love a K5. My dad had one growing up. Brings back really good memories for me. I love the bourbon, but it's just not iconic like that K5. But right now we're having problems with this little orange jobber. These vehicles are all supposed to drive in, and now if it's dead in the water, that means that's money out of their pocket. So now's the mad scramble to try and get it started, get it in line. They probably got a little bit of time as the block starts to open up and bidders start going. Now start to watch everybody pile around this vehicle to see if it starts. It's like when you're watching like a sports game and somebody gets injured on the field and everybody stops and like takes a knee. Everybody paces the sidelines. We kind of hold our breath and wait. That's what you're witnessing right here in the automotive world. There it is! The sweet sound of it running on its own. So as a personal, like a child of the 80s and 90s, I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of think these are hideous, but at the same time, like I have straight like car love for them. The big thing is, like when I was coming up in the car community, like guys thought these were cool and I was like, I don't get it. So this is a 13th anniversary Mercury Cougar, which why I like it is because it is, you know, just a step removed from the Thunderbird. This thing is absolutely a gem. Clean, clean, clean. 45,000 original miles on it. Smells like 1996 and bad decisions. And probably can do some wicked burnouts. So I had one of these. 90, 91, Mark III conversion, G20, and I don't know if this is a Mark III conversion or not. I love the graphic, I didn't see that. If it is a Mark III, they debadged it. So typically speaking, you got the high top conversion. GM actually just made it a standard, you know, a standard van body, and then you would send it off to like a restyler, and they would put the high top conversion. Mine had the skylights in it, and the TV was center mounted here, and obviously it had the ice box and the center table, which this one still has. My grandfather had one of these as well. It was a G30 chassis, and we toured the country in it. The G20 that I had was actually my first tow pig. So I kid you not, I was buying G parts and hauling trailers with one of these. My sister and I actually put the Class 4 receiver hitch on it in my parents' driveway, sat out there, got it all bolted up, and I went out and I bought a trailer, and this was my first tow pig. I also had it in high school. I take this home. I wonder how much this is gonna sell for. Obviously, have to come check out the LJ. Got the full roof rack, body armor, is the manufacturer. So we got a bunch of body armor, a bunch of Quadratec parts on it. The Goodyear Duratrack's a beautiful tire for it. Let's pop open the hood and check out. Pretty standard 4.0. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's clean. It's appropriately clean. We're not going to be doing a TJ frame off on it anytime soon. Got some old school relays back there. Got our winch wires, they're just standard. This kind of looks like somebody drove this in off the trail and said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna try my hand at Mecum today. All right, Savage, I see you driving this. This is your daily. I like how they did the recess, the rigid lights in, rigid light bar. There's some quality upgrades on this one. I can really get behind it. Realistically, whoever put this H1 together, they meant for this to be a year-round driver. You know, the idea is these are gonna melt off. That ice, that sleet, that's not gonna stick on the headlights. You got all that quality rigid lighting, and then you got that beefy, got the steel cable VR10 on the front, so I dig it. After walking for 40 days and 40 nights through the bowels of the Pennsylvania Farm Show complex, we have finally found our first auction vehicle, which is coming up this afternoon. This is that sweet 99 XJ. It looks fantastic. It's been cleaned up real nice. Got a good detail on it. The interior is gorgeous. I'm really happy with it. Call it 2000, 99 2000. I mix those up, that's okay. So it's arguably one of the very few Cherokees on site. I hope that benefits it and doesn't detract from it, because there's flat out no other Cherokee here like this particular vehicle. It's got great company. I mean, check out the H1, there's a TJ, another, you know, a Tahoe or something there, Bronco, K1500, so it's in great company. Plus, that car right there is getting a ton of attention. So hopefully people coming through trying to check out that car are also seeing this Cherokee while they're at it. I'm excited to see, A, how much it brings and what kind of interest there is in it. The challenges, all of the parts that make it so good, so unique, are all hidden appropriately underneath the vehicle. And let's hope our bidders have done their homework. It's not just 4x4s that I'm interested in. Check out this Maserati. It is gorgeous. And that's what makes this experience so cool. We have the Maserati right across from the Cherokee. And I love, love, love the look, the lines, the interior. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Not 100% sure, somebody out there in YouTube land, correct me, but it should be V8, yep. So 400 horsepower, 4.2 liter V8. For a family car, I bet you this thing's got scoot. Oh, Ford Falcon, my dad had one of these. We'll take a picture from my dad. Listen, I don't really want to be Debbie Downer, but like this is as plain Jane as they get. Tires are fresh enough. 3.8 motor. Savage, get in here, man. We painted one wiper arm nut. We left the other one as rusty as can be. I understand we're trying to sell this on the Golden Eagle package. You want that to make this cool. But we could have done, I don't know, $150 in cleanup, and this thing could have been lot ready. I get it, it has 42,000 miles, but like, come on, bring a better game. The other challenge with these, with this particular package, when you look for these, folks at home who are looking, Savage, come around me here, man. Check this out. The seats always blow out here. I mean, a decent garage and or interior upholsterer will take care of this for you. They're literally selling this beat to tarnation. 42,000 miles and it was ridden hard in the process. I'm like a child, okay? CTS, Cadillac CTS. I still remember the commercials. That was like one of the sexiest automotive commercials that has ever been made. Kudos to you, Cadillac GM, for doing what you did. So the CTS, if you're unfamiliar, it is the ultimate mom mobile with an LS-based V8 engine roaring under the hood. This particular model, I love it. Triple black, man. It's got this is a true, well, I shouldn't say it's a true murder out because you've got this and here gives us our color contrast. But black interior, black tint, we got limo tint on it. You can see the dash start to kind of come alive. Black exterior, black wheels, low pro. Got those Brembo looking calipers on there. And 2019 CTS-V, 6.2 liter, 640 horsepower. This is the caddy that gets you somewhere. I take this home right now. Anybody want to trade a limo? OMG. So Ford C600 cab over. So COE is what we refer to this. But this little badge right here tells me that something else is going on under here. I should be able to give it a little lift. And stuffed under this. This would not have been period, but that is a 6BT Cummins mechanical engine. So when I'm looking at this truck is not only is it just a wicked cool styling, but it's tremendously functional with that 6BT under the hood. It's not gonna get you anywhere fast, but it's definitely gonna get you there, and it can pull down the house while you're doing it. They need a what? Yeah. Nobody polishes wheels like the Savage. These do not cut the SFJ Savage test because these are not polished, except for one side of the truck. That's what one side of the truck looks like. Can you tell me why that happened?
No, but all that matters is one side because you only see one side of it when it's going down the auction block.
You're actually correct. It's just that side goes down the auction block. And so did they polish that side? That's the question. Did they pull the Savage polish test? Does it look pretty from this side? I kind of feel like it's prettier. Did they polish just one side?
No, they didn't.
They just wipe it down at least? All right. It's full of brake dust. You're right. But somebody did spray the tire black on. I made sure to put the tire black. I love that the F650 is staged outside of the equine barn. Something is fitting about that to me. I gotta be honest, it kind of looks like, this looks cool. This looks like off of like a, except for it says equine barn. It looks cool. So those of you who follow all our podcasts and our updates, this is a 1932 Ford 5-window coupe. Not what Scott is building. That's important to know, but there are a lot of stuff that he'll talk about from the early 30s. This is a really kind of an iconic hot rod built car. This is obviously done in a very hot rod style. This is not close. He will be very unhappy. Closer. So that's actually a 37. So we're 1 year off. Obviously Scott's looks very different. This is way too exciting for anything that Scott would do. Scott's also needs to have a rear, because this should still be a coupe, not a sedan, I believe. Yep, so this is our coupe, not a sedan. Scott's will come back here like so. Won't have this trunk pan like that, so that he can fit his kids inside. But an ish idea of what his may look like in the future. It's Scott. Who knows what it'll actually look like. Okay, here's one you don't see every day. So Toyota Land Cruiser. This is an HJ45. You don't see this every day because look at that full-size pickup bed back there. These things, a lot of people, if you're kind of like, you know, green to the Jeep and 4x4 market, you might think this is a Jeep truck. Obviously, Toyota and Jeep guys, we don't always see eye to eye, but this thing is sweet. I gotta tell you, it's probably one of my favorite vehicles that I've seen that is not attributed to SFJ 4x4. I love this truck. My wife would like the color. It might be a little too pink for her. She usually likes little accents, but I don't know, I'll ask her. Found it. It's back, right? So this beauty came into our shop, I don't know, what, 3-4 years ago. The mad scientist took this one on. Again, you know, the fact that both of these Jeeps, the performance Jeep with Jim and Found It, showed up at Mecum completely coincidentally. So Found It is here. We appreciate this write-up. That is super cool. There's great presentation with this particular placard and Jeep. You'll be able to see on the back, you'll see some of the paperwork that this particular owner and seller kind of put together to present it. Since it left us, I see the BF Goodrich KO series, a beautiful tire. I think we left here, I think it had a different Goodyear tire on it. You can see the interior of the engine bay is largely untouched. All of the owner's manual, the paperwork, the interior of the Jeep is absolutely gorgeous. Scott spent hours and hours of just kind of polishing out this factory paint. Still smells like it did when it left us. Pretty funny. As we come around the back here, you'll be able to check out all of those authentic original license plates, copies of the original find. Big shout out to that original owner, Bob, for pulling this out and preserving it for everyone. And now it is headed off to a new home. It'll be going across the auction block shortly. I can't wait to see how much this brings. Obviously, if you haven't seen this one, there's tons of video on it. You'll see me talk about the fuel injection. You'll see us talking about how Scott was doing the restorative process. We've got 600 plus pictures of this one in all of its states of repair. So it definitely is gonna make somebody super happy when they buy it off the auction block. It is nothing short of, I don't know, 125 degrees out here on the blacktop at Mecum in Harrisburg. But look at what caught my eye otherwise, before I get done fussing and moaning. This thing is just straight up gorgeous. It has got attitude. It has got a very cool color palette as far as the blacks and the gunmetal and the flat. So I was starting to say that Jeep Chrysler Corporation had taken a Survivor wagon like this about a decade ago, and they did a full frame off, and they pulled the body off, they did all the body work, it was beautiful, and they put it on a JK Wrangler 4-door frame, and they started to tour the country with it as part of their Mopar Underground series. And unfortunately, at one of the shows out here in eastern Pennsylvania, a massive windstorm came through and knocked a giant, like a light pole down on it and smashed the roof in. So I think it's kind of interesting. I don't know whatever happened to that particular Jeep, but it's like a great legendary story. But it's kind of interesting because you can actually see like in the other, like the two-tone portion of this, a little different, a little distorted.
Lot T213 2000 Jeep Cherokee, featuring a 4-liter with an automatic custom suspension, Fox shocks, and air conditioning. Please note, reconstructed branding on the title.
Come on. Come on, we got it right in 20. Oh, we're at 17. We're at 17.
Next up, lot T214.
Wanted to do a follow-up video of Mecum 2023. Obviously we are back in the shop. Neil is out, so we wanted to just kind of go over what happened at Mecum after the videos turned off. The XJ, or the Cherokee, went across the block, and it did not quite bring the reserve that the owner was hoping. It actually went up to $17,000. He had started a reserve at 37. He then lowered it to 35, and I heard he might have lowered it once more, but he did not get it low enough. One thing that Mecum does do is they do the bid goes on, and I know they did go in for talks, but I don't know that they actually were able to reach an agreed price. So as of right now, that is not sold. The next day, we spent the night there. We went ahead and got up and we looked at when things were going to cross the block, and we learned a little bit from the day before that by the time the wagon was to sell, it was going to be about 4 or 5 o'clock. We had some obligations here, so we actually, instead of going over to Mecum, went over to the PA State Capitol building and did a tour, and that was pretty cool, and you'll see some clips of that. Really beautiful architecture. As we were on our way home, as we had projected, the wagon went across the block about 4:30. It originally brought a high bid of $42,000. It did not sell on the block. It went on to the bid goes on as well. But then, as those can sometimes do, the bid went on up to $62,700. So it did actually sell. We here at SFJ are super excited that this wagon's journey, as it just continues to go from one to the next, and we are excited to see where this wagon continues to go and hopefully meet the new owner at some point. And this is your little recap of Mecum 2023 for the Harrisburg. We are really excited for these kind of opportunities, and hopefully we can do more of these in the future.